Hello everyone, it is I, your favorite Yokai Watch YouTuber, and today I have with me the esteemed, researched, competitive Pokemon player Jimothy Cool. Say hi.
How's it going, folks? I've never played Yokai Watch in my life, but we're gonna attempt to evaluate some... Are they called Yokais? Is that what they're called?
Yes, they are called
Okay.
Yokai.
We're gonna take a look.
The goal of this video is I'm going to exploit your intelligence for competitive Pokemon, but also ignorance towards Yokai Watch competitive, and see if you can guess whether 10 yokai I share with you are viable or unviable in the competitive format of Yokai Watch 3.
Let's do it.
So, alright. So, to start things off, here's our first monster. A yokai called Bison Burley. Here are his stats, his moves.
Alright, look at that, he's got... So we got Strength, SPR, what is it? Special Resistance. No, Special Attack.
No, Spirit. It's pretty much your special attack stat.
Alright. Is Defense and Special Defense... Is there a speed stat?
Okay, so how it works... Yeah, that's actually speed right here. So how it actually works is that, in Yokai Watch games, defense only accounts for damage calculation from physical attacks. In Yokai Watch 3, magic attacks pierce the defense stat. It's actually a lot more balanced than you think.
So there's like no magic resistance stat of any kind, it's just magic damages.
Yeah, there are ways to cut down on magical damage, but no stat dedicated to that.
Alright, the Bison boosts all allies' stats ever so slightly. And I think in Yokai Watch you got like 2 allies, don't you? It's 3v3 on the field.
Oh, and this is a blanket effect, so it'll still activate even while he's in the back.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I got no concept of like what kind of stats are good, but that effect seems good. Since it's like in the back and it's buffing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It seems... How do I rank them? Like 5 stars system or something?
Actually, I was gonna have you just say like whether you're viable or unviable, keeping it simple, you know. All right, and did you take a look at its?
I think he's viable.
Did you take a look? Oh, and you took a look at his moves too, right?
Oh, sorry. Let me take a look at his moves. All right. So what's up with the moves? Is there like a limited amount of moves that they can get?
Yeah, every monster only has like 4 dedicated moves: a physical attack, a magic attack, an ultimate, and a status condition that can be a buff, debuff, or even just do status conditions on the opponent. And these are like the starting powers. They get a lot stronger as you level them up through the game. So like these aren't their maximum power. But like as you can see, his ultimate boosts all ally stats, and his status condition can also boost the stats of an ally.
Right. He boosts allies stats, and he boosts allies stats again. So that's his whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's viable.
Alright, and the real answer is... unviable.
Alright.
What's
wrong with him?
It's because of his S rank. Because of how Yokai Watch's competitive format works, you're limited to a maximum of 2 S ranks. So it forces a lot of the high rank monsters to really compete with each other for a team build slot. And this guy competes with way too many wall breakers. And there are actually a lot of rangers or buffers that are lower ranked that are easier to fit on teams compared to this guy.
That makes sense. It's kind of like restricted Pokemon in VGC, where...
Yeah. You're also limited to a maximum of 2 A ranks. You're pretty much forced to consider building around options that are B rank or lower, and how you can fit them onto a team reliably.
And then the S ranks are like the heavy hitter guys or something, or the highest value fellas.
Highest stat totals, some of the strongest skills in the game, but they all have to compete with each other.
Gotcha. Well, now that I know that nuance, I'll be able to evaluate the next ones.
Yeah, I purposely chose this guy because I figured it would be a really good trick question.
Well, in a vacuum, he seems good, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next monster. This guy's one of my personal favorites.
Dragon. Now that's a good...
Dragon.
He's got a funny name.
Yeah.
Well, his spirit stat is off the charts.
Yep.
He's got solid defense as well. He's B rank, which means he's slappable on a team, maybe. Less committal. His skill is called Just a Minute. Doesn't take an action for 1 to 2 turns. Okay.
So imagine if slacking didn't slack off just for one turn, but on the very turn after that, he had a half chance of also doing nothing.
Oh. I was thinking it works like slow start, where you'd switch this guy in and he can't act for a sec. But is it like every turn he has to pass the next turn?
Yeah, yes. Every turn, like, he always has to respect this skill. Except on boss fights, but we're not talking about boss fights.
What are his moves? Do they somehow circumvent this poor drawback?
Alright. His skill moves are in the next image.
What was his destructive icy breath onto foes for a protracted period of time? Is that like a damage over time effect?
No, it's immediate burst damage. Ice magic that uses his spirit stat.
I see.
Oh, and while magic attacks don't have to respect defense, ultimates actually do.
Oh, okay. But it calculates based on his spirit stat, but it their defense factors in as well.
Yeah.
The inspirited yokai puts everything on hold and acts less.
Yeah, think of it like paralysis.
Oh, right. It's an effect you give to the enemy.
Yeah.
This is a hard one to evaluate because like his ability seems horrible, where it's like truant, but
yeah,
everything else seems great. Is that maybe there's some kind of mechanic that's like skill swap where you can get rid of his ability somehow? Or...
That's actually one of the few things we don't have.
Okay. So I'm gonna say he's unviable. It's sort of like slacking, just based off slacking as a frame of reference.
Alright then. And the actual answer is... viable.
Ah, nice.
You will actually see this guy on a ton of competitive teams. And the reason why that is, not just because of his amazing stats, but partially because of his double equipment slots.
I didn't even see that, yeah, so true.
Yeah, very few monsters in the game can equip 2 items, and being able to do that is actually really, really good. Because there's this item called the Shielding Soul, that makes it so that whenever the user switches in or moves around the grid, they will immediately go into guard, which it's sort of like guarding in your usual JRPG. All damage is cut in half while they're guarding, and they can also use that second item slot on items that cut the damage from magic attacks in half, making them super bulky on both sides of the spectrum. Plus, the double equipment slots just let him do a lot of things, so he doesn't really need to attack every other turn if he's still doing other useful stuff.
Right. So some kind of like valuable passive effect.
Yeah.
He doesn't mind just
like
sitting
there. Even with his double equipment slot, he can actually hold 2 items that can make it so he can charge his ultimate super fast. And because of his high spirit stat and the tiles it covers, it can hit super hard and disrupt a lot of team builds.
All right. Well, I don't know anything. Another miss for Jim, folks.
Alrighty, don't worry, you got plenty left. All right then, next monster. This is another one of my personal favorites. Mu Linda.
Oh, we got Mu Linda.
Her Japanese name is Gozu. Pretty much one of the guardians of hell. You have a horse and a cow. This one's the cow, and it's a hot lady cow.
Excellent. Is there a type system, or they just have?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like you see that strength and weakness in the top right corner that cover their elements. Like it's not as important, but it's still something you have to take into account. But because like magic attacks do not account for defense, and they can hit even harder because of elemental weaknesses, they have extremely high damage potential. And the multiplier isn't as big as in Pokemon. It's like 1.5 times when you hit for weakness, but that's still a lot.
Gotcha. So this fella, good strength, good defense, probably low speed, based on what I know so far. Gains strength when attacked by an enemy. That seems good.
Y'all like Rage Fist Annihilate, don't you?
Yeah, similar idea. Stab Storm, 8 power, 8 times 5. Is that multi-hit?
Yeah, multi-hit.
Spirit Orb drop rate up. What does that mean?
Okay, so Life Orbs and Spirit Orbs, they're little, like whenever you beat an enemy, or sometimes they can drop little orbs on your side of the field, and when a monster walks over that tile to where that orb is, they will either heal for 10% of their HP, or they will get an extra turn of charge on their ultimate so it gets up faster.
Interesting. That's in competitive battles as well? That's not just like an in-game?
Yeah.
Well, that seems good.
Mm-hmm.
With explosive rage, she ferociously charges into the column in front. Okay, the column in front. So you reposition and then do a big move.
Middle row, actually. I guess it's kind of hard to see because of the little tile thing on the range thing right there. Probably should have screenshotted it when it was red so it was easier to see, but it's like middle column, and like you can actually, the thing about middle columns is that you can actually move around to get better aim. Like if you're in the far left column, it will the ultimate will cover that far left column. If you're in the middle column, it'll cover that middle column, and if you're in the right column, it'll cover that right column on your opponent's side. Make sense? Like think about it like it's you're pretty much playing on a tic-tac-toe board. Imagine if you're able to if you were able to cover X's on one side, like the entire middle, the entire right, or the entire left, if you wanted to.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I got
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that sounds really good. And then this spirit effect thing. For lowering its spirit.
Yeah. Debuff to their magic attack damage.
Well, this fella seems good. Got some utility with that status effect. Gives you some orbs. Does that cool AoE move. And has some sort of scaling effect, like a win condition, perhaps. Where it can get, like, fed by getting hit. I think it's probably viable.
Alright then. And the answer is... unviable.
No, what the hell?
Yeah. Yep. Just competes with too many S ranks, sorry to say.
Yeah, I know it was an S rank, but it seemed like
Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen any of the super good S ranks yet, have I?
Yeah, that's kind of the point of this. We're having fun here, right?
Yep.
Good. Alright, don't worry, it's all in good fun. Alright, next monster. We got Nerd.
Oh, Nerd? It's a bit funny. Is B rank the lowest one?
No, the lowest is actually E rank. I've got 2 E ranks I'm gonna show you later, but like it goes from E, D, C, B, A, and S.
Cool, okay. So pretty low stats, but some good spirit. All healing techniques will be weaker on the whole board, I'm assuming, including yourself.
Yes. Imagine if like your opponent's Toxapex used recover and they only recovered like 10 HP.
That's nuts, yeah. That seems really good. Well, in Pokemon that would be crazy, but I don't know. Maybe it's a different context.
Yeah, I hear you.
Alright, so I'm seeing a little tic-tac-toe board on this move he's got, which hits hits a certain positioning on the board.
Yeah, sorry, it's still kind of hard to see because the red's not very clear, but
I can see it. I got it.
Okay, good. Sorry.
Viscous winds from the underworld buffet all foes. Okay, so it's just like AoE on those tiles.
Yeah.
Drops a foe's spirit way down with a dark power. Okay, this fella seems like it's got good utility and good spirit for that AoE effect. Plus it's funny looking. I reckon it's viable.
Alright. And the answer is... technically, it is viable, but the problem is that they actually made an item whose skill does the exact same thing, which is easier to fit on a team.
Oh, okay.
So,
but then
trick
he can have a
there.
different item on top of that, so that's useful still.
Yeah. You could definitely work him on a team. He's just kind of outclassed by the item that does the same thing. Probably should have chosen a better monster for this. Sorry.
Nah, well, I consider that a win. He's worth considering on some teams.
Yeah, I'll give you a point for this one.
Nice.
All right, Righteous Zazzle is his name.
Well, that's just like a human being.
Yeah, he's technically the god of the underworld's right-hand man, but he took up sword fighting.
How interesting is that?
But,
it's an
we got a lot of.
It's got huge speed. It's like Chien-Pao or something. It's got massive attack and speed. Allows one preemptive guaranteed crit. Okay, crit. How much damage is crits in this?
Crits are a 1.5 times, and they ignore defense buffs. How this skill pretty much works is like, imagine if immediately after switching in, Like, before your opponent even gets to choose their attack, your attack goes first, priority, crit. And there are items that can boost crit damage. So, like, you can boost a crit... Yeah, so you can boost a crit from a 1.5 times multiplier to... But with an item, you can boost it again to a 2.5 times.
But as I understand, I think, like, you can't act straight away in Yokai Watch. There's the wait time. He's got his low wait time of 2, but he's still frail.
Wait time is more like how often you can switch in and out and move around the board. That's not for your
like actually okay.
Yeah, that's not your turn order. Your turn order is mostly determined by your speed. But like, due to how this guy's skill works, he can immediately come in, do an attack, and then still take his turn to do an attack later.
And his physical move is a 3-hit multi-hit. Does it crit on each hit? On the first?
Every hit.
Wow, yeah. And he's got another column AoE thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm assuming attacks based on his strength.
Yep.
And then he's got this status move that heals an ally.
Leftovers. Think of it like leftovers.
Oh, so you give them like an ingrain or something, like Aqua Ring.
Yeah.
Like you cast it onto them. Okay. Nice. Well, this has got to be viable. This seems crazy to me.
All right. Answer is viable. You are correct. This thing can easily fit on teams because of how reliable it can wall break.
Well, there you go. This one was a given.
Yes. This one was an easy one. Alright, next one. Meet Slipup. E rank.
Oh, that's a funny guy. Well, E rank. Whoa. But honestly, the stats aren't too bad. I mean, I figured E rank would be like terrible, but
yeah, E ranks aren't outright unviable.
So he shortens the move like wait time for allies.
Yeah, that includes himself, so more switching in and more moving around.
And he's got good speed and spirit, so he seems like a decent offensive threat. He's got low power special move though. Does that scale up and become decent?
Yeah.
Okay, probably not as good as like the B rank guys and stuff, but usable.
Yeah.
Ice Rink Roundabout creates slippery ice tiles that, if crossed, damage and reduce strength.
Okay, so what that is it's a hazard, a field hazard, if you will, like stealth rocks. Like imagine if there was an ice form of stealth rocks that not only did damage based on ice weakness, but could also lower the opponent's strength after they got hit by it. Oh, and it's calculated based on the user's special attack stat, or spirit in this case.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. Well, yeah, I guess it's not exactly like Stealth Rock though, because switching in Pokemon's like a fundamental thing. I get.
Yeah.
Like this is just, it would zone a guy in and prevent them from being able to like move.
Yeah.
So they could still use the guy, but they couldn't move it where they want for whatever reason. So it's like a zoning tool. Which sounds really useful. Spirit effect thing makes an ally slip inside so fast that its speed rises. Well, there you go. That sounds great. That's great utility. Zoning utility, decent speed, plus a good passive effect. I feel like this is a viable Pokemon. Sorry, Yokai.
Yeah. No problem. So the answer is viable. Yes, you are correct. This is one of the most powerful hazard setters in the game.
There you go.
Alrighty. Next guy.
Oh, Sonic Bam. Another human being.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep.
S rank.
You got a Yokai hero.
He's got some anime hair.
Yep.
Enormous speed stat. Solid strength. Your restorative techniques will heal 2 yokai at once. Whoa. That seems like it's really nice. Wait time of 1 is crazy, so he can slip and slide all over the place. He does have a defensive 27, but maybe his other like high speed and low wait time make up for that, as well as the passive effect. And what moves has he got? Knocks enemy back 1 tile with his physical move. That's good utility. He gives foes in range the fastest kung fu chops they've never seen. Okay, it's got like an AoE effect on the, I think just the corners of the tic-tac-toe board plus the center.
It's an X. It's an X shape.
Yeah,
Covers
the
the
X shape.
Yeah.
Got it. Very useful. And powers up an ally with kung fu moves. What does that do?
He just like the animation just shows him running around the grid super fast. So he's basically just doing a whole DC flash speed by hit thing.
Oh, that's cool. Does it like raise their speed? Or raise the speed of
no.
an ally, or just damage?
Just damage, physical damage.
So it is an S rank, which means it might be competing with others, but I will say that this guy's viable based on what I'm seeing. It seems really good.
All right. Answer is unviable. Sorry.
Oh, what? Probably the bad defense.
Yeah. Like because of his skill, he can only really focus on healing. He can't really focus on being offensive as much as he would like to. Like you could probably make something with him, but like he just competes with too many things, sadly.
Damn. All right.
All right. Terrapoda.
Terrapoda. Like terracotta. Genius. It's another E rank fella with. This is like those rock types in Pokemon with like super high defense but pretty bad everything else.
Yep.
Prevents all yokai from being revived. I see. So there's like a revival mechanic.
Yes, there are several yokai that can revive allies. They're few and far between, but having that is like really good. And those ultimates that do that charge really fast.
All right. So it sounds like that's not like a super ubiquitous thing, but this could be a good counter pick against them. Maybe. He's got knockback on his thing. That's good.
No, notice the equipment again.
Oh yeah, he's got 2 equipments. So true. We know that's a valuable asset for any yokai. And causes confusion in foes by teetering on the brink of tripping. What does this mean, his ultimate?
It means, like, debuff ultimates cover all of the opponent, and it's like, it doesn't have to respect tiles. They will just all be debuffed, and in this case, it's confusion. Half chance of doing a physical attack to either themselves or an ally.
Oh, well, that sounds really nice.
Oh, and also, like, another thing about debuffs is that when the opponent is debuffed and you hit them, you get more spirit and life orbs on your side of the field.
Very good. And his status effect lowers def. Interesting. Is there, because in Pokemon those kinds of effects aren't that good. Confusion and like stat drops, because you can just switch out and refresh them. But
yeah, switching out doesn't do anything to them. They will only go away if you use your time to purify them, which can leave your team vulnerable.
Well, that makes them sound better then.
Yeah.
This guy seems like it's got very good utility, and I think it like on a utility Pokemon. Sorry, yokai.
It's fine.
Just having like no stats except for defense sounds okay, because type weakness seems to not be as big of a deal, and you can just sit there and click utility buttons. You can status everything. You got equipment slots, which sounds good. I think Terrapoda is probably viable.
And the answer is viable. You are correct.
Nice.
This guy fits on a ton of teams easily thanks to his E rank and having 2 equipment slots and being able to stop teams that would just revive their entire front row. Alrighty then.
Yeah, the revive effects seem too specific, but then I feel like his other stuff is pretty useful no matter what.
Exactly. Alright then. Next monster. Very good, sir. His name in Japanese is actually Sebastian. Typical butler stereotype name, you know?
That's good. Gradually restores HP for all linked allies. What is link? Is that...
Link means they are right next to the user. So just by being next to this guy on the grid, your allies will get leftovers.
Sounds amazing. Super high spirit on this, but low defense. B rank. So it might be competing with some stuff, but probably not anything too nuts in that department. He's got Smackdown for the double hit. His thing's called Restore. Is that like a heal? Or...
Yeah, it's a heal move.
Okay, so he's a support. And he heals all allies with his ultimate.
Yeah.
And his status thing is another
also leftovers.
Lefty's effect on an ally. Well, yeah, he's just full on support.
Yeah.
I think that the big thing is maybe his low defense. I'm kind of giving them all, rating them all as viable. They all sound useful, but
Yeah.
I don't know the greater
it's just
context that they fit in.
Yeah, it's fine. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just go with what I feel like, which is that he's viable. His healing effects seem solid, especially a passive one, just for being next to him.
All right, and the answer is, unviable. Sorry, just like healers kind of struggle in the meta, but like the healers that can revive, those are always appreciated. And this guy does not revive, sadly.
Damn.
All right.
Unfortunate.
Last chance, last yokai. Let's see what you can think. All right. This guy is one of the mascots and another one of my personal favorites, Whisper.
Look at that. Oh, horrendous defense though. That's the first thing I notice. He's got good. Oh, the speed is enormous. This is like like a Blacephalon or something, like a super fast special attacker with no defense.
Notice that skill though.
All yokai are prone to be dealt critical, so it just increases crit chance on everything.
Everything. Everyone is prone to getting hit by a crit. And it's a blanket effect, so he doesn't have to be out in the front for it to work.
Whoa, okay. Well, that sounds like you could build around it. Like you could build with like a crit-based team.
Exactly.
And then this fella itself, because it's fast, it will get a lot out of the crit chance. Knocks enemies back with its move. Oh, Drain is probably like a healing attack.
Yeah, magic attack that does damage and heals the user for a little HP. Think like your usual Absorb or Leech Life or Giga Drain. It's a magic attack, and defense piercing.
You can lower the defense on like a T shape on the grid, and then it's.
Oh, and it does damage.
Oh yeah, true. But like that one move, I forget the name of, like Acid Spit or whatever.
Acid Spray, yeah.
That one, yeah. And he can lower defense as well, which seems more useful in this game than it is in Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
I think he's. I've said everyone's viable, but despite the low defense, I feel like this has got to be, because it's C rank. It can't be too committal to use it. Plus, it has that entire field affecting passive, which would be something you could probably build a team around.
All right. So you're gonna say viable?
Yeah, I think he's viable.
And the answer is very much viable. Yes, you are correct. You can pretty much build around him for crit teams, and they love having him on their side.
Excellent. That's pretty cool.
Alrighty. So I think you only got like let's see, one. You pretty much got technically 6 or even 5 out of 10 correct. So pretty good. At least you didn't get all of them wrong.
I'll take that. I mean, it's kind of like answering C for every question. You'll get some of them right eventually, but I was going with my genuine feelings. I just happened to think they were viable because they sound good in a vacuum.
So, what did you think of this little experiment? You have fun?
That was cool. I like these. I think these got some cool designs. They've all got like just a couple unique effects. Kind of reminds me of like the Gen 9, where a lot of the stuff in Gen 9 has like a signature move now. They're kind of going more in that direction with the designs. Like all these guys have one super unique effect, which I think is cool.
Yeah, Yokai Watch is designed so like pretty much every monster is unique in some way.
And I like the positioning based effects too, the AoEs and the knockback, all that. That's fun.
Yeah, forces you to consider your formations and your enemy formations and all that. Love it.
How do you actually play Yokai Watch? You play it on the console, or is there some kind of simulator?
3DS game. I pretty much have my own old 3DS that's falling apart that I still manage to play on.
Wow. Cool. Is there any other way to play, like emulation?
You can definitely play it on Citra, but because it's extremely touch screen heavy, it's kind of awkward unless you have like a tablet or something. Damn.
Well, it's hard to get into, I imagine, then. Like, I would like to try it, but I bet it's pretty hard to get into because of that.
Not very accessible these days, sadly. Unless they like make the Switch ports and make them English available. Like, they have proven they could port Yokai Watch 1 to Switch, but right now it's Japanese only, sadly. But, like, I still love the game, and I'm glad I got to try it when the 3DS was still more of a thing.
Awesome. Is there much of a community for this? Competitive?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually in part of a small, humble Discord for the competitive matches that I play on tournaments for when I have the chance to.
Awesome. That sounds cool.
Alright then. Thank you very much for being part of this little experiment. Now I'm going to edit this in post and post it on the video and mention you.
Awesome. That was cool.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.